and welcome to a new 3ds Max tutorial. So it's been a long time since we've done a 3ds Max tutorial. I've showed you the basics and put you off on so you could start designing something of your own. So hopefully you kept up with that. But what we're going to do today is look at animation. Now animation, we covered the basics of before, but a lot of people struggle with it, and I'm one of them, because it takes that much precision in moving parts of a body. So you can see here I've got the basic parts. I've got feet, legs, hips, arms, head, everything. So if you're doing a walk cycle, it's a long process of moving everything. So I've came up with this way, and I've asked around. Nobody's actually covered it before, but it's very common, so I don't think I've made it up or invented it. But I very doubt it because it's so common. But this is a way I figured it out. So what I'm going to do here is show you how to make an animation. So instead of them walking around and they look like a complete idiot, for the same amount of time I'm going to show you how to make something a lot like this. So as you can see, it jerks at the end. I need to fix that, but this is still in progress. But as you can see, it looks a lot more fluid compared to the other ones. So it just looks better, basically. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Well, we're going to work on the basics today and only do a simple animation. We're not going to do something that complex, but we are going to do a good one. So I'm going to create a new scene, so don't save. Okay? And I'm going to set my max animations back to 100. You don't need to worry about this. There. So the first thing you need to do is actually to get a video, if you wish, of what you are doing. You need a video of it. So there we are. A video of whatever action you want. So if you're thumping, you need a video of someone thumping. It's better to get most actions from the side. So running, walking, crouching, jumping, fighting, all that stuff from the side. If you want to go into facial animations, you might want to go up front. I can't really think of any more animations that require a front. Maybe them sidestepping, that would probably require a front video. But the video I have is, just cross that one off here. It's called crouching video. And all it is I got my friend to literally stand in his garden, and I set a video camera up, video recording him, and then I told him to crouch. That's it. And you'll see he looks a little bit weird with what he's dressed up with, but it's a part of it. So if I drag this up, it's not wanting to load. Don't worry about that. So I had to open it in Windows Media Player because VLC wouldn't play it. But as you can see, he crouches. That's it. But as you can see, if I play it back to where you can see him, you can see he's got some weird things hanging around on some of his body parts. And what this is we dressed him up so that you could see it. So the back knee, if I can find a spot where it's got it there, has a different coloured bag compared to the right knee. So then when you're video editing it, because all we're going to do is literally follow the movement in 3ds Max. So you can see how one foot's got blue, one foot's got white, so you can justify which foot needs to go where. And you're not constantly getting confused with the feet. Trust me, it helps. Ignore the lighting above. I don't know why it kept doing that. On the video on my recorder it looked fine, but then every time I put it on the computer it lights up. It's really weird. But yeah, you can see everything you need to see. So he crouches. That's all we're going to do. It's really, really, really simple to do. So what you need to do is get your video, whatever you're doing. This video is freely provided down below. You can do whatever you like with it. I don't think you can actually do anything illegal with it, but hey. He has gave me express permission. Yes, I'm allowed, but this only one video I'm allowed to do. So you can use any recorder, but when we go into it, you will see the better recorder you have, the better it will look. Right, so what you need to do is get your file and make sure it's a file type of AVI. The one I'll be distributing is an AVI. But if it's not AVI, you'll get a problem. And you'll see this is only 3 seconds long. The shorter it is, the better it'll be, but the faster they perform the action, the worse the animation will look. So you need to make it look good. So what you want to do is right click on it and go Properties if you're on Windows, because I don't know if you can do this on anything else. And you want to get Properties here. And you'll see the details, you'll see frame width and frame height. So if you go into 3ds Max and click Plane, and in your front view, which they're reversed, there we are, here, drag it out and set the length segments and width segments to 1. And then set the length and width to the properties video. So the height is 720, so that would be length 720, and you'll see it'll be massive, but trust me, it's worth it in the end. And then what you do on here, 1280 I believe it is. 1280, perfect. So what you can do if it's absolutely huge like this, is you can actually just take a 0 off the end. Don't be doing it too much, else you'll mess with the quality. But now that is the same ratio as where it is big, and pretty much the same size as a biped. So if you click select and move, we can go to the position and move it in. Alt and W to maximise it. So you can see I'm going to press G to get rid of this grid. We have pretty much a plane. So if you press M to open up your material editor, that's M. Ignore those, they were from the previous one, which I was doing. And yeah, so we'll just delete them. So what you want to do is click your first material, and this will only work if you have an AVI. It won't work with any other file type. If you import an AVI and it doesn't work, chances are it's not the correct codec, so just find a different converter. And all we're going to do is simply grab our video and drag it into the slot. And you will see 3ds Max will configure it and say, there's your video. So what we can do is drag it down just like a normal material, but when you click it, you'll see that it animates as you move along. Now if you don't have a very good computer processor, it will lag a lot. Mine does lag quite a bit, but it's still usable. So what you do is drag it on, and you click it, and it won't create any keyframes whatsoever, but it will lag a lot, like I said. As you can see, it's lagging. But we got lucky, because it's not on over 100 frames, so we don't have much to do. And what you want to do is look at your animation, so we'll just go to the front, and we'll click wireframe, and click shaded, because then you can see the animation. So what you want to do is, I pressed H by accident. Get rid of that. Press G and Alt W to maximise it. You want to find a good end point for it. So that's the beginning. He's going to be stood up. Easy enough. So your character's walking, and this is where they stood still and they just crouch. So we're going to drag it pretty much to the end, to where he stopped crouching. So if we carry on, you'll see that it does actually reverse if it gets to the end, as you can see. So I'm going to set it around about as soon as he touches the floor with his knee there. So I'm going to even it off at 50 frames. So you can see we can get rid of a whole 50 frames. So if you come down below, and you'll find something called time configuration. It looks like a clockware box behind it. Just click that and set the end time to 50. And now we have a lot easier frames to work with. So first thing we're going to do is right click on our object and choose object properties. And it lets me do it. There we are. And we're going to go and untick show frozen in grey. And we're just going to right click freeze, because then we can't play with it. Easy. So I'm going to Alt W out and just get to this one here. You can see if you go over, it reverses the image, which is a bit confusing, but it helps when you're trying to do it. So don't get confused thinking this is the back of his leg. It doesn't work like that. So we have a 2D video in a 3D world. So what we're going to do is go up to, so we're going to go up to systems up here, and we're going to tick biped. And what a biped is basically the skeleton for your character. So we're not going to create a character today, no way are we going to create a character today. But what I'm going to do is simply go into the front view, and I'm going to click roughly, because I tried to get it as level as you can on the video, but as you can see the path is a bit slanted if you imagine it in 3D. So you've got to try and work with it. So if I just click roughly in the middle of his feet and saying that's ground, you can drag it up and roughly put it where his head is, like so. So what I'm going to do is, without clicking anything, so we've still got the middle selected, go to my rotate tool, angle snap, toggle there, and then you can see it'll snap it, and then we can snap to 90 degrees, there. And then you can just move it and put it where you think is best, which I think's there. So you can see his length forward a little bit, we can work on that in a minute. So his hips are pretty much there. Easy, right? So, now that the background's frozen, you can click off, and we can begin aligning everything up. So easiest way I would do this is first, because he's stood still like that, obviously we have to work on the hip first. So if we can get the character to follow wherever it is, we work, right? So if we go in and actually grab the entire thing, except the picture, and move it out of it, we will be able to see the majority of it. So what I'm going to do is go in, and we're going to work on these green arms, green legs, and the hip. So I'm going to right click the hip and hide, not that one, hide selection, because we want this bit here. This is what allows you to move the entire character. And I'm going to select everything else except the hip and the legs. And I'll leave the hand as well. So it's just those ones. And I'm going to right click hide. So we just simply have foreleg, big leg, I don't know what they call it, I'm bad at this stuff. Forearm, upper arm, bit. Yeah, we'll just say bit. And what we're going to do is go into the front and tick on auto key. So what I'm going to do is move it a little bit and it'll create a keyframe. Then, if you look at your keyboard, you have the more than and less than signs, or the full stop and the comma. You can use them to transverse the keyframes, as you can see. So each keyframe, well, we'll go to about half then, so we'll go to 25, and we'll pretty much just align it to there. And then we'll go to 50, and align it again, there. So his hip's about there, you can see, yeah, that was right. So then we can start halving it again, so half of 25 is, we'll just go to 15, and we'll say about there, because as you can see, it goes at normal speed. We need to make it speed up a little bit. We'll go to 35, and you can see it needs to move down, and then we can pretty much, you just start halving it. That's the way I usually do it. So we've got to make it, what you can do is just go across, and anywhere it looks out of place, so there, look, oh, as you can see it's lagging, so anywhere it looks out of place, there, it's completely out of place, there, you can put it back in its right position. And then all you keep doing is this for every joint. It seems long, but you actually get it done quicker than doing normal animations. Obviously motion capture will be done a lot faster, but hey, this is for free. So what we're going to do is just keep going, and don't worry about doing both sides yet. We're just going to simply work on the basics. So as you can see, I've clicked off it, so if you just go back and click back on it, if you press space, it'll stop you being able to click off it, so that always is fun. So you can see, if we were to just click off and click play, he follows it now pretty perfect, right? So obviously we could go in, because I've done it on the other ones, I went to pretty much every single keyframe and did a part of it, but since we've done, and it's a tutorial, I'm going to hide that part now. So we've got that part moving, so we just click play, you'll see it'll lag at playing, if we click that one, but when you delete the video, so if you just go unfreeze, delete it, you'll see it's a lot easier. So, edit undo. So freeze this video again. So we're going to work on the upper leg now, because it seems easy to do. So we're going to click auto key and we're going to go back. So you want to work on the rotate for your legs. For the actual middle body, work on your move. Everything else, rotate. I'm going to turn off angle snap because I don't need it. So I'm going to go forward a couple of frames, and I'm going to pretty much just make it stop moving, and I'm going to drag it back a little bit because that's where it is. And I'm going to go forward, drag it back a bit more, forward. So you can see this leg, what we're working on is the white foot. So put it there, and go forward a bit more. So it's getting a bit more out, as you can see. And then we can drag it back. See, I'm not the best at animating, but this does give you pretty good animations if you work on it for long enough, as you saw at the beginning. Hopefully, if you like that. If you've got any more better techniques, please go ahead. I would love to see them, if it helped. So as you can see, we've got the basics of it going. It follows it. I'm not sure about one of them in here. That one there, I don't like that one. So we're going to move it back and just put it roughly there. Yes. So we can go back to the beginning, and we'll keep that one on just for now, and we'll press space to lock it, as you can see. So we can start moving this one. So I'll drag it so pretty much the foot looks in the right place, and we'll move on a little bit, and we'll just drag it down a little bit. And this is all I'm going to keep doing, literally, coming across, and you'll see the foot will move because it's trying to stay in line with the leg, but you've got to manually edit it, so it gets a bit annoying. So this is the parts where you don't want to skip keyframes. So as you can see now, we're beginning to crouch the leg. So like that, it instantly jumps to there and then to there. So we want to line it back up, and it should look half decent. So like right here, I would love to insert, I'm going to move this one a little bit up so it's not as jerky, and then it comes back down as you can see, so we can take it back up, and then it jumps so we can take it back up again. And this is where the foot will be, so don't worry about that one. So as you can see now, I'm building up a lot of keyframes, but don't worry about it, the more keyframes the smoother it will look. First rule of animation pretty much. And yes, I did study animation, but only 2D animation, and it never turned out that good anyway. It was like a little course in my unit, well, unit in my course. So, if we were to click space, un-auto key, unfreeze and delete, we will see that we now have a crouching leg. So you see it likes to wobble a little bit there. Things like that you have to manually take out, but he crouches, so if we get the other leg in a minute, you'll see that he looks like he's actually crouching. So now that we've got the basic leg going, I'm going to, as you can see, it goes down. We could fix the wobble, but we do that at the end. So I just make sure it's freezed again. Oh, that's not freezed. There we are. And then what we can do is begin working on the arms. So if we go back to the beginning, you can see it'll jump. So I'm going to press space, auto key, and full screen. So I'm going to bring it forward a little bit because you can see it matches up. You may want to get the perspective right, so make it all level. It'd probably be better if you do it with concrete. I was on a unlevel garden, but it was only a theory which turned into something that works really good. So I'm going to come in and pretty much just move it and come in more. So you can see it's starting to bend now, so we can drag it back. And I only ever work on one body part at once. You can work on multiple ones if you like, but as you can see, it's further than it should be. So this might be where we work on the body's rotation. So just bring it out a little bit. You just have to really work with it, but it does work. Because don't forget, the body at the moment is stood straight up. So I'm actually going to hide that, leave this one. So we'll unhide all. So unhide all. And I'm going to come in to where the body is. And I'm going to hide everything we've done. So all this. And the leg and the arm. I pretty much just want the body on. So hide all this. So right click, hide. All this I want gone. Hide. And we want the neck gone, which is the little point at the top, and then the movement gone. So now we just have the body. So if we come back up to the top, we can pretty much grab the middle body, space, auto key. And then we can begin to make it look like it's him. So if we skip ahead a little bit, you can see that he starts to move forward. And then we can bend him forward even more, because don't forget, people don't move the head that much, so that wants to be level with his head. So level with his head again. You could actually go in and start editing the other ones. I'm going for really basic ones, saying he's keeping most of it straight. So there. So as you can see, his spine apparently is popping through his head according to the video. It's just the way you have to animate. And we'll say there. So now, if we were to go back to the beginning, that would pretty much follow it. So I'm going to work on the third one, and that's all I'm going to do. So I'm going to rotate it a little bit, because then it will give him some curvature in his back spine. But this is only going to start working when he starts bending over, like so. It's the little touches what really make an animation. Like so. And 50, I'll say that's it. So pretty much we've done a bit of it. I'm actually going to leave it here for now. So if we unhide all, oh my god, what's it's gone off. But yes, so if I just unfreeze and delete the video and click play, you'll see that he's got the beginning of crouching. like so. So what we need to do is get that leg out front, and then set the body on everything, the head, and it'll look like he's crouching, and then he's ready to move on. So obviously we have to work on this bit here, which goes wobble wobble. So I'm just going to delete those two, and that should cure the wobble. Okay, you can see it didn't work, but hey. So that's all I'm going to show you how to do for now. We probably will carry on doing the animation later, but all you have to do, move the bones with the body parts. If you can have a dark room and put lights on each arm or something, maybe that'll work better. This is how motion capture works though. You put a point on your hand and you tell the application to follow that point with that bone, so that one, and then it'd follow it. That's all motion capture is. It's just hard to actually program that. But yeah, so thank you for watching. I really hope you liked it. If you've got any better techniques, please comment below. Please join my Facebook or Twitter down below. Thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.